Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be talking Price is Right strategy. In particular, this concerns the pricing game called the dice game. So the dice game is a pricing game on the Price is Right, obviously, and it's been on the show since I want to say the mid to late 70s, might even be an 80s game, but I think it's a 70s game. Originally, it was played for four-digit cards because, well, inflation. There were no. Well, there were sometimes 10K cars offered, cars in excess of $10,000, five-digit cars. But, yeah, and originally, um, the contest. Well, let me just explain the game before I get into historical facts. So, long story short, it's for a car. The contestant will be shown the first number in a five-digit car price, which in this case is a one, and then they're going to be asked to try and roll the next number in the actual retail price of the car. If they're right, then it lights up and they get that number automatically. If they are wrong, they are going to be asked whether the actual number in that certain digit of the car is higher or lower than the number that they just rolled. When they roll the dice, they do have to roll the dice over the line. It will count if they roll it over and it bounces back, but if so long as it crosses the line, they're good. Um, as Drew Carey will say, a six is an automatic winner because there are no numbers higher than six, and a one is an automatic winner because there are no zeros. So all of the numbers in the price of the car can be found on the dice. It's not that hard for the Price is Right to find a card to play the dice game with, but all in all, you have just about a 50-50 shot at winning the card just because of the certain numbers that can be rolled. So if you roll a 1, the actual number, or a 6, then you're good. In theory, theoretical probability. If you don't roll any of those numbers, then well, you would have to guess. So all in all, they expect that you will get two of them, which is exactly what happened in this scenario. So for example, he rolled a one, which is an automatic win for that number. He rolled a six, and it just so happened to be the actual number. Which even if it wasn't, then we would have known that it would have been lower than six. Then he rolled two fives, so this is looking really good. Now, I will say that with most cards in the prices right that they offer, a lot of them range no less than $15,000, but no more than $25,000. In this particular instance, looks like it's a $14,000 card, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so as far as tips, my tip on this game is to go with the odds. If you roll a five, go lower. If you roll a four, go lower. If you roll a three, go higher. If you roll a two, go higher. Um, that's I just you're go with the odds. It's the dice game, and it's a fairly winnable game. People do win the game all the time. Now I will state some fun facts about the dice game. Originally, when the dice game premiered, and for a lot of the tapings, um, I mean, a lot of the playings, a lot of the first playings, the rules were a little bit different. When they started playing the game, the car, the numbers in the car could be anything from 0 through 9. So it wasn't necessarily numbers that could be found on a dice. Um, that did cause a lot of problems and a lot of losses, and so they decided to change the rules so that it would just end up being just numbers that you can find on dice. 1 through 6, no zeros and no, you know, none of that stuff, none of that crazy 7, 8, 9 stuff. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take that. I don't know if I did say 0 through 9 back in the day. I think there were no zeros. I think they didn't allow zeros, but they allowed everything 1 through 9. Man, this is something that you can check up on if you're really interested in the history of the dice game. Just Google TPIR dice game Wikia, WIKIA, and you'll find out history on the dice game. And they have a lot more stuff as far as history, and they have some videos of the whole dice game and photos and all that stuff. It's really cool. But anyway, it's the fan of the show. I hope you take my tips, and if you end up on the show, you do well. and just best of luck to you. Take care.